gamers, and welcome to episode 329 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 22nd, 2021. I am one of your co-hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, it is hot. We're really getting that hot weather now, man, like consistently. And I am hating it.
You and me
Every
both.
last bit of it.
Need to invest in some shorts is what I need to do.
Yeah. Well, I haven't turned on the air conditioning yet. I mean, I've been staying away. Because I've been staying like downstairs most of in the day. If I'm here during the day, I try to stay downstairs. And then I won't go upstairs until like close to 10 or 11 when upstairs is cool. But man, it's hell in my room during peak hours is horrible. Not even peak. I know it's hell peak hours, but when I get home and it's like freaking 5 or even at 5 o'clock or something, it's still hot as hell up there. And I was like, God damn. So yeah, this is not my time of year. Like this is, God, I was so happy for those winter months, man. I did not want them to end. And then when we had the nice 60-degree weather and stuff, I was like, oh, I'll just hope global warming or the climate change just fucks up everything and make it like 60s all through the summer. It's like, I don't care. But nah,
We turned into San Francisco somehow.
Yeah. I haven't seen really lots of cicadas in my area.
No.
I know you say you haven't seen none in your area either.
Yeah, not really. Not the brood yet.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happening. I hope maybe they died. Maybe they died in our areas. I don't know. But in other places, I've seen them, but not a lot. Not like where I'm hearing them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I haven't really heard them at all yet.
Yeah, and by this time, the last time they were out, I did hear them.
Yeah.
By this time. So, I mean, it is not a consistent 17 years. It's like 17 and a half or 17 something. It's something decimal to the decimal. So, who knows, like, exactly when it's going to just come out and something like that. Because I'm just thinking, like, I'm with a lot of woods and shit, like a lot of trees and things of that nature. I see deers and everything out here. I'm just thinking, like, man, this cicadas probably be really bad out here. Yeah. But I don't know. All right, let's get down to it. Sports real quick. The Wizards are in the playoffs officially.
Ooh.
I'm upset that they lost to the Celtics, though. I wanted them to get the 7th seed so they can play the Nets. Because I wanted them to play against the Nets because I was like, the Nets most likely are probably going to win the championship, maybe. So at least we can say we lost to the champions.
Right.
But now we're playing Philadelphia, which is another great team. But it's just that I want the story of Westbrook versus Durant, old teammates that have, they're not the best of buddies. So a little tension there, a little. I wanted that at least. But we'll get Philadelphia. And I'll see. I mean, I hope we can win one game. If we can win 2 games, I'll be really happy. I'll be really happy we can win 2.
Drop the banners if we win 2.
1. Yes. Drop the banners. Say, yes, first round exit at 2 wins to 4. The Wizards, they're not going to get past the first, but I doubt it. It had to be a miracle. Or Embiid and maybe another player gets hurt. It would have, that's the only way. I mean, the Wizards not that great of a team. They got a couple great players. I mean, they got Westbrook, they got Beal, who are great. And they got a very overall mediocre other class of players on the team, but they still need some help. They need like one other big guy, like another great forward who's a good defender and who could score, and they might have something there. But yeah, they need some work. Which I'm just happy they got to the playoffs. All right, so the playoffs are set and everything. The Warriors will not be in the playoffs. That's unfortunate because everybody had Steph Curry as like the MVP.
Yeah.
I don't think he's MVP. I think he did. I think he should be in the running, but I don't think he should win it. Just that I don't know. I know if he doesn't have to be the best on the best team, but I feel like I feel like your team has to at least be somewhere in the seedings that's prominent.
Yeah,
and that's why I can't give him fully the MVP on that. I don't really. I mean, because the players. I don't know who should win it, but I know who I'll put above him. I will put Embiid. I will put Jokic. I would put maybe even Chris Paul, because of what he did for Phoenix, breaking Phoenix from not even being in the playoffs to being number 2 in the Western Conference and the second best record, I think, in the whole league. So yeah, I would put them over him, but I think he should still get votes though, because he was incredible this season. And I think that is it for. Oh, the Lakers got in the playoffs, so that disappoints me. So like, yeah, I'm only watching this playoff because the Wizards was not going to make it. Like, if they did not win the play-in tournament, I was not going to watch any NBA playoffs until the Lakers lost. So the Wizards are in.
So you're not watching any because they're definitely winning to coincide with the release of Space Jam 2.
Oh, yeah. Once the Wizards lose, I am not watching until the Lakers lose. So, yeah, if the Lakers go throughout, win the whole damn thing, if they get to the finals, I'm not even watching the finals. Even if they lose it, because I don't want to see them in the finals.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him in the finals.
Do you know, is LeBron hurt? I saw something about him doing something to his ankle. And Skip Bayless talking about how he did it to himself because he was out there showboating and hot dogging at the end of a game he shouldn't have been in.
I don't know if he got hurt again. I know he was playing somewhat injured.
Gotcha.
But he hit the game-winning shot. Now, I didn't read any news on like he got injured because I have muted LeBron James from my Twitter space, so see, I don't see stuff.
That's smart,
like
because that's where I saw this. It was just somebody on Twitter, posting about that, and then it was all the things about Skip Bayless basically saying, he did it to himself because he shouldn't even been playing that late in the game, that they had already beaten up on the Pelicans or something like that. Oh well, no, he played. He played after that game. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he's played after that game. So, yeah, he's fine. I don't want to see that storyline. I know it's going to be that storyline that, hey, they came in from the play-in tournament to win a championship. I don't want to be there for that. I don't want to be there for that. All right, in other sporting news, you have the Caps, who are down 3-1 in the playoffs, and it's not looking good for them to finish it. And I wanted them to at least last the second round, because I know the Wizards are going to not last the first round. So I need them to at least have some like local team still in the playoffs until I just focus on baseball. But unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, it has happened. Hockey has happened. That teams have come back down 3-1, and teams that have come back. Well, I think a team has done that against the Capitals. It has come back down when Capitals were up 3-1. And then you have teams that have come back down 0-3 in hockey. Yeah, that happened more times than not. Not like than other sports, compared to other sports like basketball. 3-1 only happened twice in playoff history in basketball. Actually, is it only twice? Yeah, I think it's only twice. Yeah, and it happened within the same year.
Oh wow!
And then now, if they happened after that, because it was the year LeBron won a championship, because the Warriors did it against the Thunder to get the championship, and LeBron's team did it against the Warriors to win the championship. I don't remember if it happened after that. It's only coming back in basketball. Baseball, 3-1. I think it has happened. I just don't remember when. And of course, the only team to do 0-3 was the Red Sox against the Yankees. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So it's rare, but hockey has happened more than once. So I mean, the Cats got a chance. And see, hockey is just one of those games that's so random. So because the way that puck goes, you could win like 3 straight games. So hopefully, luck goes the Caps' way to win these games. But we'll see. Just wait till next year around this time to watch the Capitals again if they make the playoffs next year, because I don't watch regular season hockey really. And I don't really care about these other teams besides the Capitals. So it's like I have no interest in it. It's damn it. So I was like, darn. So yeah, I watched all the games. Like I watched all these games they played, and they only won one of them, unfortunately. Yeah. And that sucks. It all went to, well, except for the last game, they all went to overtime. One went to double overtime. They ended up losing. That was a long ass game. Like that was a long game. I was like, damn, this game's long. But they couldn't come through, so that sucks. Anything else? Baseball? No, the Orioles just lost to the Nationals, and Orioles, they have been doing well. They're now kind of like near the bottom of the league. There's a couple teams worse than them, but not that many. But then again, it's still bunched up though. Like the league is still bunched. Like they're last place in the division, but it's not like everybody's so far ahead of them. But the unfortunate thing is everybody in our division has a winning record, except for us. So I look at these other teams. All these other teams are good. Like they have players. Like everybody. Tampa Bay went to the World Series last year. Toronto got some bats. Like I don't know their pitching. I don't like because I don't follow baseball too much to know everybody. It's kind of hard. But the bats I know, and a couple of pitchers I know. But Toronto, I don't really know their pitchers. But I've seen their bats. I know they're good, and I seen them play against Atlanta, and they look good. I think they played against the Orioles. Have they played against the Orioles yet? I think they have. But I don't know if I watched that game. The Yankees, are the Yankees. I mean, so yeah, it's not really say there. Then Boston's doing great this year. So it's the Orioles. They're in a tough division, man. Like they're in a tough. Like this is. I mean, nobody expect the Orioles to do anything this year anyway. I just want to see progress. And I mean, we got a pitcher. It means I don't think he won his last game though. But we got a good pitcher in him. Mancini at the time of before the game yesterday, he was leading the league in RBIs. Like he was struggling in the beginning of the year. Like he's really came off. Like he's really gotten like I guess comfortable. I guess he's gotten. Like I know it's like baseball. You gotta get some pitchers in, or get some bats in and stuff to get warm up. Yeah. I guess he's heating up now, and like he's leading the league in RBIs. But it's a young team, and so you don't know who's going to turn out great or who's not going to be great. Or some players you probably do, but yeah, I enjoy still watching because it's still my team. They don't just suck. Even though recently they have been getting up a lot of runs, they have been getting way too many runs for my liking. But I just hope this. I feel like it may be some hope there, like for next year. Maybe we'll get somebody or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. All right, I think that's it for sports. You got anything? You got anything like wrestling news or anything like that?
I guess the biggest thing for wrestling this week was that AEW announced that they're going to be on TBS next year instead of TNT, and they're also expanding to have another show on Friday nights at 10 o'clock. That's going to be, I think it's called Rampage or something like that. So kind of the WCW Thunder, if you will, or the SmackDown, obviously, which kind of is their top tier show now that it's on Fox. But yeah, so I think it's smart of them to have that show come on at 10 o'clock so that they're not competing directly with SmackDown. And I don't know what the move to TBS means. I mean, I guess TBS is like slightly bigger market than TNT, but and I think part of that might be because they just Turner inked a deal with the NHL, and I think they're supposed to maybe be doing hockey on TNT next year. But like, don't all the Braves baseball games come on TBS? Wouldn't that be a problem for them? So.
Do they still do that?
I don't know.
They don't do that anymore, Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
God.
All right, then those reruns of Big Bang Theory are going to be interrupted by AEW, I guess.
I don't even know if they still do that, Dad.
I'm showing my age here, Dominic. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. It does seem like TBS is kind of a bigger thing. I wonder if they rebrand that TNT title to TBS title. And yeah, otherwise their pay-per-views coming up, I think like a week from Sunday or something. But not really much to talk about with that right now.
All right. Yeah, 2007.
Gotcha. Wow. It's been that long, really?
Yep, it says 2007 season marked the last year that Braves baseball games aired on TBS over a fully national feed.
Man. So I can't watch Braves games anymore, huh? That sucks. I guess that's why there's so much fucking Big Bang Theory and reruns of sitcoms on that channel now, because they don't have anything else to fill time with.
All right. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So I'll start it off. I've watched that new M.O.D.O.K show, the Marvel M.O.D.O.K. They call me the kind of look like Robot Chicken, played by Patton Oswalt, plays M.O.D.O.K. That's the only guy I know in the show. I'm sure there's other famous people, but I just don't recognize them. I tell me the names. I watched 2.5 episodes. I don't know how many episodes it is though.
Okay.
Because honestly, I thought they would go with the weekly shit like they usually do on Hulu.
But they just dropped them all.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or they dropped some. I don't know if they dropped all of them or just some of them. Like, you know how Disney Plus did with some shows. Or in Amazon. They done that too.
Gotcha.
So I watched, and the 2 episodes I watched, they were okay. I mean, they're all right. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's not like, it is not really too raunchy. Not saying I do. I don't want it to be more. I don't know. I think maybe that's good. Like, it's not really, it's like, oh man, this is like rated R or something, or even like Robot Chicken level of raunchy. It's like, nah, it's not even that bad. But it's still an adult tone to it.
Gotcha.
Like an adult, I guess, tone. Like, what's the, I don't know how you recognize it. It's adult tone, but teenagers will watch it. You know what I mean? It's like
it's Rick and Morty.
It's like that. Yeah. So it's okay. Like, I think it's worth a watch. Like, to check it out. I mean, I saw some good reviews on it online. I think I saw what Metacritic had for it, or Rotten Tomatoes. It feels so weird typing on my computer now because I actually have a desk with a working keyboard tray where I used to have it crooked. It feels like it just feels weird to have my hands actually do it. Okay, this is not good. I got Craig M.O.D.O.K's reviews. New Orleans LA attorney. Okay, maybe
how is he? Is he a good attorney or?
No idea. I ain't clicking on it. 88% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Now, IMDb, which is mostly what user reviews, they are 6.4 out of 10. So some people didn't like it. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, the audience score is 85% on Rotten Tomatoes also. So I guess it seems like it's getting okay reviews. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'll see like what other people like the other episodes. I mean, they probably binged it. If there's all episodes out there, it's probably just binged and everybody saw it. But I think it's okay. I think it's an okay show. I'm curious how you will like it. I have a feeling you won't like it. But maybe you will. I don't know. Do you have Hulu?
No, I don't have Hulu. And every time I try and sign up for
there's other ways to watch it.
Is there? Okay. I'll maybe invest in looking into those ways. Yeah, every time I see like a promotion of like, hey, return to Hulu and get like $1 for 3 months or something like that, I'm like, all right, I'll sign up for Hulu. There's some things on there I wouldn't mind seeing. And then it just takes me to the resubscribe page and it's like $5.99. I'm like, I've got enough streaming services. I'm not doing that.
Exactly. They won't let you do it.
Yeah. And I don't feel like signing up for, using another email that I'm going to get 50 million emails from them and whoever they sell my information from. So they've got my AOL email, Dominic. That's all they need.
Exactly. Well, you got to use MJ's.
I'm trying to think if we have at some point.
Oh,
we do. We usually do, like, we'll use one of mine and then one of hers, but
Use Gwen's.
There we go. Now we're talking. I do need to start an email address for her. Get it in now before all the good email addresses are taken.
She probably won't like it, though. She probably like, I want my own name. Say, this name sucks.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be as professional when it's going to be, like full government name at her, it's her own domain.com.
Gotta be like mine, like Dino Man's I had ever since I was a little boy.
Well, she'll have that one. She'll have that equivalent too. But yeah.
And you know what? And I don't feel embarrassed when I tell people my email. I feel like I should be, but I don't.
I feel like it's nebulous enough that, I don't know that people would necessarily just be like, is that a Flintstones reference? And then whether it is or not, you're like, it's, don't talk to me. See, mine, I feel like people just assume that I'm like a Harry Potter or something fan now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who was that? Who was Reckless?
I think I don't know. I think he was like Sirius's brother or some Romulan's brother. I don't know. Remus, Regulus, Sirius. I don't know. And then I got to tell them, it's Bomberman 64, a very important game. And they're like, really? Okay.
All right. So, what did you watch, man?
All right, so I watched Sonic the Hedgehog because it's available now on Amazon Prime streaming stuff. And you know what, Dominic?
The cartoon?
The CG movie.
Oh, movie that came out last year.
Yeah.
One of the highest grossing movies of 2020.
Peak 2020 movies. It was quite enjoyable, Dominic. You know what? I will say
it was.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It was okay.
I thought Jim Carrey was entertaining. I thought, he was doing a good job at being Jim Carrey, but also not being like the completely over the top that turns me off sometimes when he does it. Yeah, and I thought it was a cute, enjoyable movie. It's a solid kids movie that if my kid was like, I want to watch this 50 million times, I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh God, like really, we gotta watch this again. I'd be like, okay, this is fun. So yeah, overall, positive thoughts on that. I'm glad they changed the CG Sonic because man, that original one was rough, and I just
want to know why they even chose that. Like,
it's who said this is the design for Sonic that we're going with? Yeah, because hopefully they were fired, whoever that was.
Like they were just purposely trying to say, hey, we gotta make this movie. It's gotta suck because it's a video game movie, so we gotta make this character ugly. People get hated. We gotta keep the stereotype going that video game movies suck.
I mean, maybe they thought they were gonna go like the meme route, right? Of like, we're gonna make weird, ugly Sonic in like the way that the weird, ugly Mario in Mario Maker kind of became a thing. Like, that's how we're gonna get people to talk about this. But it's Sonic. People talk about it. It's still a, like, beloved children's franchise for a lot of people our age.
Are they still doing that Mario movie?
Allegedly. I know I'd seen some stuff about casting. This is probably like 6 months at this point ago, but yeah, I can't imagine they wouldn't be. Especially after seeing Sonic do pretty well, I would imagine they're like, yeah, we're gonna jump on board with that too, and get this going. Yeah, because theirs is supposed to also be like full CG, right? Like, or at least I would hope so. I don't know. I don't necessarily want.
I kind of want John Leguizamo back.
Yeah, okay. So you want full live action, is what you're saying?
Yeah, or they could do CG and some live action, like the Smurfs.
Yeah, or like this.
That, or yeah, like Sonic. Yeah. Like I want, or like the Chickmunks. I want the Chickmunks, and because I want John Leguizamo to play Waluigi. That would be
my goodness. See, that would be really weird if they made like Mario and Luigi into CG characters, but then they had Waluigi and Wario as real people. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny DeVito is Wario, and Waluigi is John Leguizamo.
You know what? I'm here for it, Dominic. Let's do that.
Because I don't think, is that guy alive? I forgot his name. The guy from Roger Rabbit.
I don't think so. I think he
from the original Mario Brothers.
Super Mario. Yeah. Can't remember his name, but Duh. Why did I? I was thinking Super Mario Brothers movie, Super Mario, and then I didn't type in movie. Bob Haskins.
Danny DeVito is actually the size of like what Wario would be.
Yeah, Bob Haskins is exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's fitting.
Bob Haskins still alive?
No, he passed away in 2014 in England.
England?
Yeah, I don't know that I ever knew that he was British.
Was he British or he was just living there?
He was born there.
I'd never heard that man speak with a British accent.
Robert William Haskins was an English actor. His works included lead roles in Pennies from Heaven, Mona Lisa, and Super Mario Brothers.
They ain't put Roger Rabbit.
I'd skipped a few, but let's see. Oh. Did they? Oh, yes, there it is. Yeah, Mona Lisa, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Mermaids, and Super Mario Brothers. Yep. Bob Haskins. I feel like he's got one of those gruff British voices. Like, I'm Bob Haskins. I say I do. All right.
Yeah, bollocks.
Exactly.
I say bollocks a lot.
Exactly. So, yeah, all in all, Sonic, I thought it was a very, very good representation of what that movie was. I thought it was funny that, like, his concept of the worst place to have to leave Earth and go was clearly, like, Super Mario World, because it was just full of mushrooms. So, yeah. It's fun. And the ring sound in that is very good. Like they had a very good sounding ring when he picks them up and he scatters them and drops them and stuff. So, yeah. That's all I've really watched this week, though.
All right. So, I guess we get to what we've been playing. So, I'll go first. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Start talking. Get this over. All right. I played some more Kaze. I recorded some, and you can see why this is why I use trainers, people, because I'm very bad at these games. I died a lot. I end up being a level, though.
Okay. Is it enemies or falling in pits, or what's happening?
It's both. It was the level, I think this was in the demo, where you had to hit the lights to stop the enemies, and then the light would come back on, the enemies start moving again.
So like the Donkey Kong Country thing.
Yeah. Gotcha. So I sometimes miss the jumps, and there was one enemy I just couldn't figure out how to kill. You had to only kill from the front, but it was one point I forgot to use my ears because I ain't playing in a while. I forgot I could float, and I didn't use my ears, so I could just float over it. I found out, so, oh shit, I ain't had to keep trying to kill it or just taking a hit.
Gotcha.
So I figured that out, but I died a lot in that level, and then I did better in the water level. I didn't die as much. But the boss, I was surprised. The boss, I didn't die one time. I beat it the first try. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually survived. So after I got my first hit, I was like, oh shit, I'm about to. Because you only get, when you have your little animal friend or whatever, he's like a shield for you. And once that shield is gone, that's pretty much it. Like, next hit is dead, you're dead. So, he got hit early. I was thinking like, okay, I'm probably going to die. And luckily I survived. I survived and beat it. I was like, oh, good. Then I went to slow level and died, and that's when I quit. So, but yeah, the game is fun though. The game is it's a good platformer. It's a nice platformer. I think it's slightly underrated because I only see people talking about it or anything. Like I don't see none of the major publications talking about this game. But I think it's a pretty damn good platform. I think people, if you like platformers, you should pick it up. It's definitely a good Switch game. I can see that. So yeah, check that out. Kaze and the Wild Mask. I think that's the subtitle. So what else did I play? I played some. Oh yes, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ooh. I played some of that. I am enjoying this. I am definitely enjoying this game. It is just like the recent Assassin's Creed games, like a big map with a lot of shit to do. But it's interesting. So now I'm at the story point. And then it's just still early on. I got past basically, I guess, the prologue because the prologue is long as hell. So then I saw a title, so oh shit, I guess that was the beginning. And after like maybe like an hour or so of the game I already played. or more. So you are in Norway in the beginning, then you leave for a reason that I don't want to fully spoil.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can spoil a little bit. It's a little spoiler here. You did leave because your clan, they melded with another clan, like another clan where they don't own it. Like they're part of this other kingdom now.
Okay.
Because the father of the clan, who I don't know if he's like your uncle, but you're close. I don't know. Yeah, because I guess you're close. You're close to him, but you're close to his son. And he was upset because he's like, I'm supposed to inherit this, and now you're going with this clan, and now I can't inherit my land. And say, look, this is good for us because the father says this is good for us because we can stop the fighting. We have to stop fighting all the time, and like being with them helps us. But he didn't like that, so I still with the son, and we moved to England. So that's where I'm at now. I'm in England. We started our own clan. I mean, our own society. I'm trying to think of what they call it. It's not just clan. It's another name too. Oh, I forget. So we start our own clan, and I'm starting to build it up now. And now we're trying to get allies. So I'm doing this mission of getting an ally right now. But you can also do raids on bandits, like there or other places or other clans that's your enemies. Like you'll be on your boat and they say, "Oh, do a raid." Then you just go up like, "Ah!" You're going up. Then you burn the town and stuff. And it's a little disturbing because I thought, well, I'm kind of glad they did it this way. I thought they were going to do the easy route of just having it just be all just soldiers in the town. So it's like, hey, it's just soldiers. So it's just like, hey, you find these soldiers,
killing
so you don't
children,
feel as bad.
Taking women.
Well, no, you don't. Now they don't go that far.
No.
They don't go that far with the killing. Like, I don't know if you can kill civilians. I don't even know. I haven't tried to. I haven't seen nobody do it though. Okay. So I don't do it. I feel like, oh, it's going to be like in Assassin's Creed, like, oh, you kill somebody. But no, that just made it harder, made it easier for people, the guards, to get you in that game. When that game was about stealth, so that's different. So I don't know what would happen if I killed civilians in this game. Because even in Odyssey, if I killed a civilian, I think you can kill civilians.
You get kicked out of the Animus.
Guards. I think there were guards.
Oh, okay.
Because the Roman it was more a society. Well, this is kind of wild.
Yeah.
There is no, I mean, so Rome, there weren't police in Rome, but they had guards. It's not really guards here. They're just warriors, you know? So I don't know how that work. And I guess it's really not, I can't really call it civilians because that would mean it was a civilization. It's not really a full civilization, really. It's just I guess villagers or something. I don't know if you can. I'm not sure. But I don't see other people. You're not doing that. You're not raping and stuff like that, like you hear in the Viking stories. So
that's good. We don't need that in the video game.
But you can burn places. But I don't know. The villagers, I think they should be screaming. I see them screaming or everything. You just loot it. Like you're looting the places. Like you're taking the gold and stuff like that. And then that's it.
You just take all their resources and then leave them for dead instead of killing them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're doing. That's all you're doing.
Slow, painful deaths instead of quick ones.
So yeah, that's what you gotta do. So like, because they even say like, hey, I'm trying to build a blacksmith, and they say, okay, we gotta go out raiding so we can get materials. It's like, oh, so instead of just like going cut down trees and make your own stuff, you just go steal materials from other places. So yeah, that's the right way to go. That's the easy way. So yeah, raiding is fun. Also, So I did some side quests. Well, not side quests, but like, well, I guess they sort of side quests. Like, there's things on the map that's where like it's almost an animus kind of thing. Like, you see like a glitch, so you go over to it, and then you're complete, like you're doing some type of puzzle in that glitch. Like your character turns to the woman you play as, who is who gets to the Animus, who's been in the game since, I don't know when her first appearance. I know she was there in the Egyptian one. That's all I remember. So, and then you're doing this puzzle, and then it's like you're getting a piece of a vision. Like, it was so quick a piece. Like, the video I saw was so quick, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, God darn, it's probably like 1 billion of these puzzles then. Because I don't know what the hell is happening. Also, I did one side quest, like, you eat these mushrooms and you go into hallucinations and you gotta solve it, and
oh boy,
you unlock something. I don't know what exactly did I unlock, honestly. I thought I'd get XP for it. So I was like, he was saying something about the vision in the tail of someone, but I did not grasp what the hell it's about. I have to look it up. But I do like the whole option stuff is similar. The options are very similar to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like the inventory system, like leveling up your equipment. Yeah, it's very similar to that, and it's fine. Though I did use a trainer so I can level up quickly, so I leveled up a little quicker, and then I turned it off because I was like, yeah, we ain't gonna spend too much time. I turned it off a bit because I was like, okay, I'm gonna get too strong right now. And I did, and there are these enemies out there in the world where they're super strong, and I think you collect things from them. Like when you kill them, it does that Assassin's Creed thing. I guess that maybe they work for the Templars. I don't know. You know when you kill somebody and then you go into like this freaking like world where you're just talking to them before
like
they die.
Focused animus parts. Yeah.
That's what happens because I did that and I was like, oh, I guess this was like, this is what they were important people. But I still at the beginning of the game, so I don't think I'm supposed to be killing these people yet because I did slightly cheat. So I found I was dying too fast. I was like, oh, let me hurry up and get some health real quick, and I put the cheat on for health, and then I killed them. I was like, I probably wasn't supposed to kill these guys yet because or I'm not supposed to be strong enough because they did say like they're like level 90 or power level 90 or whatever it is, and I'm like at 20 something, and I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm gonna kill these guys while I'm here. So because I got the blade, the Assassin's Blade, because my friend or the guy who's supposed to be head king, I'm like his second in command. He had gone on his journey and he met them, and he introduced me to them. And the guy gave me a blade, but I'm not a part of the creed yet. But I think I'll probably meet him again, and maybe something comes of that. Like I'll be part of the creed. But you can do all the things assassins do. You know, sometimes you put your cloak on, like, oh, I gotta get in assassin mode and stuff, and then you go hide and you can climb up and assassinate people. Oh, and also you don't put your blade under your arm like they do, because the guy said, hey, it's meant to be under for you can conceal. You say, oh, and I say, no, I don't want to do that because I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding anything for anybody.
I was gonna say, we just see those dudes walk up and stab people. Yeah.
So he's like, I don't need to do that. I ain't hiding. Like, they know I'm a killer. You see me, I'm a killer. So yeah, the game, it's all right. Like, so far, like, I want to finish it. Like, I don't know. It's still early. I ain't gonna say I'm having just as good a time as Odyssey, but I am having a good time. I'm having a good time with it. But with the ship, so far, it's all right. I haven't done those ship-to-ship battles. I don't know if they even are ship-to-ship. They might be ship-to-ship battles, but I haven't done anything like that yet. And these ships are smaller, you know, because these are meant mainly for, I guess, rivers.
Right. That makes sense.
Not to be sailing the big ocean. And even though I see them go out, they had to go out to the ocean to go to England, which I'm like, God, their arms are fucking tired. And so, but it's just that with Odyssey, it felt like the ship was bigger. The ships were bigger there. And us battling. And that was fun. While here, there's like, I guess you can shoot arrows. So one time I say, hey, hold your bows. Oh, I accidentally hit the button, so they probably are. But I wouldn't. If they're any good, like, they're going to be as fun as in Odyssey or
Black
back
Flag.
in doing Black Flag and those games. because the way these ships are made, I don't think they were made for battle. They were just made to travel, it seems like, and to hurry up, land, get off, and you go pillage, rape and pillage, and then get back on. So yeah, the game is it's all right. So far I'm enjoying it. All right. So what else did I play? I played some Dragon Age because at first I didn't know what game I wanted to play. So maybe I'll start playing Dragon Age and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Maybe I'll play those two games at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like I loaded that game up. I also loaded some mods on it, like to make the visuals look a little better. And I can't really tell. I kind of can tell that it looked better, but then again, I didn't do it like a side by side comparison because I haven't played the game in so long. But I did see how one of the characters changed because their look changed. Like the older woman looks younger now. Mm-hmm. Like she has long black hair instead of like an old gray old lady. She looks fairly attractive. And I was like, oh, did that change? That's different. So it did, because first I didn't really know if the mod was working or not. I was like, oh no, I don't know if the mod's working. I mean, the game, it still looks old because it's an old game. You can but make it look so much better. So I don't know if it's working or not. And then I saw that woman. I said, okay, it's on, it's working. But yeah, playing this game, getting back memories. I played through this game quite a few times. I chose to be an elf. This time, a woodland elf, not a city elf. I think the last time was an elf, I was a city elf. I don't know if I've ever been a woodland elf. Like, I think the only people I have not been is a upper class dwarf. I've been a lower class dwarf, but I've never been an upper class dwarf. I don't think I have. I don't remember. At least I don't remember being an upper class dwarf. I might have been. I might have did both dwarves. I'm not sure, but I've been a human, and a human, I think you just a noble. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you pick a mage. If you pick a human mage, you will be in that mage school or whatever it's called, that mage prison. I forgot that. Well, yeah, prison. Well, technically, it's not a prison, but it is a prison. It's like one of those things where, hey, you're comfortable, you can do anything you want, but you still gotta follow certain rules. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, you're in there if you're human. You're a human mage. Or a elf mage. But I've done that. And I've been a human noble. But yeah, I think this is the only one or two, like of the two of the dwarf upper class that I haven't been, is a woodland elf. Like a city elf. City elves are different than woodland elves because they are more used to the human life of things. But they don't really know the ways of the elf. It's kind of been lost on them because they were slaves. Well, all the elves were slaves at some point, but they stayed with the humans. And they're like a lower class of the humans, basically, in the human society. While the woodland elves, they keep to their own. They're always moving around. They never have a set place they live, but they're always constantly moving. But they have their own laws and things of that nature. And they stay away from the humans, what they call them the shims. They call them the shims. That's their human slur, I guess. But yeah, so I chose that. That was cool. And I remember for this game, maybe there are mods with better customization for your own character, but yeah, it's horrible. This was like horrible. Like for a black person to make a character, it's just horrible. Like I never can get a good looking black person. It's never really good looking black hair I can use unless I just go buzz cut. You know, that's it. But yeah, the game is still fun. Like some people still think this is probably the best Dragon Age game. I kind of do. I kind of think that out of the three, this is probably the best one. I mean, I like all of them. But this one just felt more RPG, like an RPG. It's just different. I think it just feels like more closer to what a traditional like Western RPG was, you know, until the other ones felt like more action. And I played some Dark Side Detective. I'm at the last. It's only 6 cases. I said there were 8. There were 6 cases. So I'm on the last case. I think I'm last case, unless they say, hey, there's some more cases after I beat this. But right now I'm on the last case, and it feels climactic, so I feel like I'm finishing up a story here. But this game the puzzles are a little better in the later cases than what I said previously. Mm-hmm. Still a little on the easy side, but they're still fun. Like, I think it was one point where I was getting a little frustrated, but I never figured it out on my own. But the game is funny, man. The game it's hilarious. I love the comedy in the game. And like the whole third or fourth wall bits with it, like talking about the game is pretty good. I think it was one incident where we went into this spooky house or something, and we saved someone. And to save them, I had to light a candle, knock the zombie down from the chandelier. Mm-hmm. Like, I had nothing sharp to cut the rope down, so I used the candle to light it, and it fell on the zombie, and the person got out. And then we're outside, and I'm looking at the house. I was like, oh, wait a minute, the fire's still going. It's like, so I clicked on the window, and we must have left the light on. That's what he said. And then even when you talk to the girl, and they say, okay, we gotta get out of here. He said, so we can go get some help to put out the fire? I said, what? And they're like, oh, what fire? There's no fire. What are you talking about? It's like you try to ignore the fire, like you did wrong. And your partner is just like so funny. Like, he is a leader of this Cub Scouts group, like the Blood Wolves. I forgot to call them, the something wolves or something. And they all talk about conspiracy theories and things of that nature. And like, he got lost, and you had to help the kids. The kids called you to help him. And these kids are funny. Like, one of them is this girl who just likes to burn things, man. Like, she just loves fire and stuff. And we went to their bunkhouse, the cabin where they stay at. And I was in there, and I was like, oh, so y'all all just sleep together in here? And they was like, yeah, they say it's co-ed. So yeah, we started first before, but really, we were progressive, but it really was by accident because it was just cheaper to make it that way to begin with. But yeah, the game is fun. I think it's pretty cheap to buy, and I'm definitely probably just go right into the next one after I finish this one. Like, it's a funny game. Like, the writing's pretty good. It's pretty good for this game. Oh yeah, and they also have a thing with gremlins. It was one where your buddy bought some gremlins from like a back alley china shop, and you said, hey, I went when we went shopping, and I said, we didn't go shopping, went investigating. He said that was where like it was something happened there, like something happened. So oh. He said, whatever. He said, I just bought these things. And then, of course, the gremlins all broke out and did things in the police department. You had to go stop them. But yeah, the game is hilarious. All right, so what did you play?
So I played a little bit of Resident Evil 7, probably around an hour or so of it. Figured we were talking about Resident Evil last week, and I'd been trying to figure out what I'm going to be playing. So I was like, let me just jump into this and get a feel for it, see what's going on, see how it runs on my computer. I'm playing it through Game Pass on the PC. One of the things I didn't like about that experience was I tried turning on the frame rate monitor that's built into like the NVIDIA software, and it just didn't work. So I couldn't tell, but it seemed like it was running better than 8. Like I didn't get the slowdown or the hitching that I saw. Granted, I haven't run into a lot of enemies yet, but there have been some moments that I thought would have maybe stressed it out a little more than just walking around. So it runs pretty well. I will say, spoilers for this relatively old game. We were talking about it last week, but fucking Ethan has already gotten his hand chopped off. So you were telling me about how that was happening in 8 and how we picked it up for inventory. That exact thing happened in 7. So apparently he's just got a detachable hand at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, because so basically the story is that you're an ex-girlfriend or girlfriend that disappeared on you or something, contacted you and basically said like, hey, it's been 3 years and I know I've been missing, but I'm here. I'm down in Louisiana in this swamp house. And of course you get there and it's all creepy and you're looking around for her and you finally find her. She's like chained up in the basement. And then of course she's like, oh my God, we got to get out of here. There's, daddy's coming, which is, it's very weird. There's, the father, I guess, of the family is referred to as daddy, which in this day and age
exactly. I wouldn't. I was like, I'm not calling you that. I don't care if you tell me that's your name. Exactly. I will make up a name for him. I was like, I'm not calling you daddy.
Yeah. It's very weird. So we try and escape, and then I guess whatever they've been doing to experiment on her, and that's where I'm interested in seeing, like, how is this Resident Evil? Is there like some T-virus mixture here? Is there Las Plagas stuff happening from Resident Evil 4? Like, how do people become these weird mutants, and what did they do to make my ex-girlfriend or whoever this person is going to be to me in this story into whatever's happening to her? Because it seems like she just goes through these like fits of being possessed, basically, and she's the one that cuts off your arm. So they also, people may remember when this game came out, they released kind of a demo, which was these like ghost hunter guys entering the house and just a little short bit. And that actually happens as part of this game. Like, you find a videotape, you put it in the VCR, and then it jumps to you being the cameraman in that scene, and you play through that. And then you jump back, and Ethan's like, oh, hey, now I guess I should go check out that area where these dudes just got killed. So yeah, still a very creepy vibe, especially once things started to pick up a little more. Once you find her, that's when you start like really hearing footsteps and stuff, and you're like, somebody's going to be popping out from nowhere. And then it turns out to be just, you're following along with her, and then she just turns on you and starts fucking chopping your hand off and stuff. So that's kind of about where I stopped. I was playing it, I think on Saturday or Sunday, like midday. So it was freaking bright outside, even in this room, without even having lights on. So I wasn't getting like the full creepy Resident Evil experience. I thought I would maybe try and make some time last night to turn it on, but I didn't get a chance to. And by the time I set, the kid down, it was way too late, and I was already falling asleep. So I would not have fared well. I probably would have just like conked down on my keyboard and been pressing up against the wall. Can't tell you how many times, like, when we worked for Target and I would play video games in the morning, I would just like wake up, and in Wind Waker, I would be on the other side of the ocean because I just was sailing while I was asleep. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to get back to it, but I'm probably going to find some time this weekend. Hopefully once it's later, like, try and do it tonight so I can get the full experience I was having with the RE8 demo. I mean, that is one thing I will say that was kind of clever about that, is like they kind of forced you into playing during those hours, especially when they were doing like the stupid time limited stuff. So it's like, okay, I got to make time to do it when it's dark outside here. And it does. It adds to the vibe and the creepiness of it, because it's just like, fuck, I've got these, especially in this game, it's like I'm in this fucking dilapidated ass house in the swamp in Louisiana, and I know enough about this game that I know there's going to be some creepy ass fucking family members that are just going to be following me around the entire fucking thing. So I'm like mentally trying to prepare myself. But yeah, the hand horror stuff, like as soon as that happened in this one, I was like, God damn, like, so that's just a thing. He should have like robot claws at this point. Like maybe he's got a Luke Skywalker hand or something. Because it's wild that
I wonder how he did. Off. Like, how does it work? Like, how's his hand working and everything?
Exactly.
Like, he grabs stuff.
Especially, like, he's in the fucking backwoods of Louisiana right now. Am I just is this game, he's not going to have a hand the entire time, and then somewhere between 7 and 8 he gets it reattached, and I'm just carrying it around the whole time? Or am I going to find some, like, weird laboratory? I feel like he has both hands. I watched it.
Yeah, I feel like
he does the block move and he puts up both hands, or at least at the beginning of the game, puts up both hands. But yeah, so I'm still not. I just got a weapon. What did I get? I think I just got a knife now. So this entire time has been like it just building up the tension and everything kind of as a setup. So I feel like I'm really about to get into the shit. So yeah, it seems cool so far.
Okay.
That's all. I did.
I'm looking up. He said he was able to reattach the hand to his arm with the stapler.
With a stapler. And then he just poured some of that fucking health juice on it and it was fine. Yeah. I did, I launched Dragon Ball Z Fighters on the Switch because I was talking to a guy at work about it. And I was going to bring it in to show him. But there's a lot of stuff in there now that I don't remember from playing that game originally on the PS4. Like all the changing of like tag moves and stuff, or like special moves. Was that stuff in there and I'm just forgetting it? Like on
which game are we talking about?
Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
What about it?
On the character select screen, did you always choose like, I'm going to use Destructo Disc, I'm going to use this or that?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
At least I remember doing it.
And did they always have a mode where you could change it to 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3, or was that something they added?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I was like, oh, wait,
Switch is the only one that has simple controls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I didn't play with them at all, but I also...
And I wonder why they didn't put them in the other ones.
Yeah, it seems weird if you do that work.
Yeah, why would you put it for Switch?
Patch them in.
You said, oh, Switch is for babies.
Exactly. I mean, I definitely, I just need to get more familiar with the controls again. Like, I completely forgot how to do anything in that game, and I was never, top tier or anything, but I could mash out some cool looking shit at least. And in this, I was just kind of struggling against the computer on like level 5 or whatever. So yeah. The load times do seem a little bit longer than I recall from the PS4, but it's not like it's not. I remember them being decently long on the PS4, so I'm not like, oh my god, this is totally slow. I mean, both of them are slow, but I don't think it's like this is so much worse in that case. That's all I've been playing, Dominic.
All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right,
and we're back. Let's get to the flashback segment. So we got for the first one, for 2011, this week in 2011, we got Battle versus Chess. I'm going to assume it's a chess game.
It's Battle chess game.
It came out for Windows, Nintendo DS, PS3, PSP, Wii, and Xbox 360. And what does it look like?
Not seeing any. Trying to look for screenshots of it. It's like I always thought it would be cool to have like a... it does kind of look like that. Like the Harry Potter chess, and it's like huge and real people-y kind of things. I think
there was a chess game I played when I was younger. I think my dad had that had where pieces actually were like people, or there was something. They weren't exactly like they were chess pieces, but they looked like men or like maybe... monsters or something. So it looks like every time you move them, they do something, and when they take a piece, they attack. So I played a game that's similar to this, like that.
Like I remember one like that too. Yeah.
So yeah, that would make it more interesting for me. Yeah, to play a chess game like that. I still suck at chess. I'll have to put on easy mode.
I think it would be cool if they did like almost like a Mortal Kombat or a fighting game thing where like you try and overtake the piece and then you have to fight them in like a 2D fighter or something like that. Or
oh man, that's definitely a change, because that means
you could maybe lose.
Yeah.
And then your piece goes back to where it was and that piece stays where it is. That'd be cool. I'm sure that would fuck up the game of chess though. Like, oh look, here's a Confederacy versus United States chessboard, Dominic.
Is that a video game?
No, it's an actual chess game.
Oh, okay.
$68.98, Dominic, if you want it on Etsy. I spent the time to make this chessboard.
I think I seen the Star Wars one. I saw the Star Wars one. I know I've seen other versions. I just can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing like Star Wars, like the Empire versus the Rebels. I think the pawns were all like C-3POs.
Oh,
I was joking.
expendable droids.
They were all bigs. They were all bigs. No.
Wedge?
What was it? No. What was the fat guy name?
Porkins.
They're all Porkins.
Porkins. Poor man. Forever be known as Porkins.
No, Porkins. All right. What else we got here? We got Death Smiles 2 for the Xbox 360 came out. Death Smiles is a bullet hell shooter with anime girls.
Oh, thank God.
So, and anime girls, I guess they're women, they will say, with the faces of girls who are like 12 years old. The
They're
body
999,000 years old, Dominic. How dare you call them
I
pedophiles?
saw those pictures. I was like, oh my God. And then it's good reviews for this game, though. At least for the first one.
Okay.
It was a great bullet hell shooter. I was like, man, why did they put the anime girls in there, though, then?
Why not, Dominic? How dare you? Anime makes everything bigger.
I don't mind
better.
anime women, but it's just that their faces look so young. They're so young looking faces with bodies with boobs and things. It's like, what the? Why is this 9-year-old girl got boobs?
Because she's 69 years old. Bazinga.
All right. Also, Fable 3 came out for the Windows.
All right.
Yeah, get to play it on Windows.
Yeah, because we already talked about it on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at your list and I'm like, this one, I feel like we talked about this and this next one, but I think it's because covers for the next one and then Fable was the actual release. Yeah,
that's what it was. I'll save that one for later.
Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants came out. I think we talked about that from a cover too, and this is the SpongeBob. I don't like it. He has squiggly pants. I like square pants.
I like my square pants.
Yeah. Also, Sega Rally Online Arcade came out for Xbox Live Arcade. It's just a Sega Rally game. You can play Xbox Live Arcade. I don't know how it got rated though, but it's a rally game. But then, now the big ones that came out, LA Noire came out.
Yeah.
This week, 10 years ago.
I like that game a lot.
Yes, LA Noire was a great game. I really liked it. The whole city, being open world was. It didn't really have to be. No, but it
felt unnecessary, but also cool.
Yeah, exactly. It was cool to be in the 1940s, LA, and driving around, going to the next part of the case. But yeah, like you said, you don't really get out your car and do anything really.
Not even really side quests. There's was there go look at this landmark or something like that?
Yes,
right?
landmarks.
Even those, I feel like you could just drive by and it'd be like, okay, there's the Mann's Chinese Theater.
But it was nice though. At least it made the world feel alive. You know, it made the world definitely feel alive. And then the whole the facial animations of this game looked really great.
Yeah.
I also loved how you could freaking tell how somebody's lying. You have to look at how they react. And sometimes it'd be hard for me. I can't tell. It's I don't know what they all look suspicious to me.
Exactly.
You guys all look suspicious.
Is that Twitch? What happened there? I can't tell.
But I always wanted to get the wrong guy. I never did, but I want to try to see what happens. Mm-hmm. What happens when you get the wrong guy? They put the wrong guy in prison. I always want to know what happens. I never I don't to this day. So yeah, the whole investigation, going through things, the dialogue was great. Yeah. The story was pretty good. It was definitely a noir story. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have a happy ending here. I know that. But yeah, I really loved it. My friend, he definitely loved it. He played that game I don't know how many times now. Played that game because every now and then I hear him say I think he picked it up again one time and just played it. And I was like, damn, man, you really like this game. And I said, I didn't think you would like this. I didn't think that would be in his wheelhouse, really, but that surprised me. So what do you thought of the game?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I thought about when they released the Switch version, revisiting that, but I don't think that would be something that I would necessarily want to play on the Switch. I think I'd much rather play that on the PC.
Yeah.
Also, there were those like VR cases or whatever. I think that would be really cool to do and check out, because that's the part I liked a lot about it, was like the crime scene investigation stuff. Like you got to walk around the environments and look for different clues and investigate the body, turn over the wrist, and you see like, oh, she clearly was struggling when she was attacked, so this was, wasn't somebody she knew or something like that. And then I always remember, like, it was always like you're questioning somebody and then you kind of nail them down and then they run, and then you have to do that chase sequence at like the end of every mission. And that was always fun, because it's just like this man in a 3-piece suit just trying to jog behind these guys, like chasing them through construction sites and stuff. And then like the final one was you chasing them through like the movie studio. Yeah, that game was really special, and it's weird that it hasn't been really revisited outside of, doing the remaster and the small VR case stuff. Because it seemed like, especially technology wise, that was going to be like, this is the brand new thing. We're mapping real life faces onto these models, and it looks so realistic. And you look at it now probably and you're like, yeah, maybe Uncharted 4 looks more realistic in some ways than that stuff does. But at the time, it was pretty mind blowing and worked really well for trying to convey some subtlety and nuance in facial expressions, even though, because of the gameplay, it was still kind of hard to tell, like, did they have that tick because they're nervous, or did they have that tick just because that's the way the person's face is? Yeah. Yeah. So I like that game a lot.
And then you have the behind what happened in the studios. Like, it was a lot of talk with that, like the controversy of working overtime.
Yeah, that's like where the original like Rockstar Wife thing came out of, right? Where it was like, my husband was sleeping under his desk to make this goddamn game. Yeah,
exactly. This was in was this made in Australia?
That sounds right.
I think it was. Yeah, that was like, this is like one of the big controversial games as far as like how the game was made.
Australia. Yeah, Team Bondi.
Yeah, so I know that team is not even existence anymore, but it's just funny, like you said, like somebody else didn't pick it up, like Rockstar.
Because they were shut down before that game even came out, weren't they? Something like that.
I think they were. Yeah.
Or like right on the heels of it coming out, they were. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because I think people were afraid, like, oh man, is this game going to be fully done or something? And then I played it. It's like, oh, this game is pretty good. Yeah. Sucks that it had to go through what it did. All right, and the other big game that came out, The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. Now, this was huge. This is what I really got into the Witcher series, because the first one I did try, before The Witcher 2 was coming out, I did try it, and I just couldn't get into it. The Witcher 1, it was just so boring,
like mechanically dense, wasn't it? Like
and mechanically it was just it was very. I mean, I guess you could say this is definitely feels like a very old Western RPG type of feel to it. But in 2, they really improved upon that, like to make it more modernized and also a little more action. It was definitely a lot more action than what the first one was, but still has the RPG feel of the early one.
Gotcha.
To some extent, like it wasn't fully action, because that's what some people didn't really get the hang of it, because they were like, oh, this is not really like an action game, because you can't just press X and just attack sometimes or whatever. But what drew me into wasn't the gameplay. Like, I think that's one of the weakest points of Witcher is the gameplay. Even Witcher 3, it was the story, the story, the choices, the graphics. Like, they look so good. And this is when I first really had my PC. This is when I first had my my gaming PC, which I still have today. So that's why I can't play some games. Or games don't run that well. Like, I was like, yeah, I can play this now and like fully with everything on high or ultra, or whatever the hell it is, the highest thing they had. And yeah, it looked gorgeous. It looked gorgeous. I was like, oh my god, this looks so good. I said, look how real. Look at his hair moving. I said, oh my god. I like this was at like this would really show the power of what my computer could do. Like was this game like really showed it off. Like this was probably the first game I saw where I was like, it blew my mind. And I was like, wow. I was like, look at like the shadows and stuff, the talk. Oh my god. So oh my god, her boobs look real. And now, yeah, it was it was great. And then you have like, see, I didn't for the longest time I didn't play the different scenarios because like you get to a point where it's like a crossroads, like you choose one side or the other. And I had chose this side. Then I think years later I played The Witcher 2 again right before I was going to play 3, and I chose the other side. It was like totally different. What you did, and just it was a lot. The game was a lot bigger than what I thought it was. It's like, darn, I didn't think it was gonna be that big a difference, and it was. But yeah, like I said, the combat. I haven't played this game so long, so I can't remember everything. But I know the combat was probably the weakest thing. It wasn't that fun to play. It kind of reminds me how I feel about Final Fantasy, but I enjoy everything else about the game a whole lot with The Witcher 2. But 3 just makes everything better. They make the combat a whole lot better. The combat is still, it's not great, but it's a whole lot better than what it was in 2. But The Witcher, the lore and everything, it was like, I was so enthralled with it. I was like, man, this is really competing with Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Like, this is, and I think 3 just really just blew out the water. It blew all the Western RPGs out the water to me. That's like my favorite Western RPG. I mean, except for Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2, I mean, I think Witcher 3 is the better game between Mass Effect 2 and that. But Mass Effect 2 is just a little more closer to me because of just that universe. The Mass Effect universe, I think I'm just really into. I'm more into than what the Witcher's universe. Gotcha. And because I just been with that game for so long, that's why. I will put it above Witcher 3. But Witcher 3 is right up there for RPGs. Like number 2. Like Mass Effect 2 is number 1, and then Witcher 3 is probably like number 2 in RPGs. Alright, so that is it for 2011. So now we're going back 20 years to 2001. And we got Project Justice. Now, you wouldn't know about this game because you told me about the Rivals. Rival Schools. Oh,
okay, yeah.
That's what this is.
Gotcha.
Because, well, this is like a successor, but then they did Project Justice 2, Project Justice Rival Schools 2 later on. So I guess they didn't make this officially the sequel, but then they said, we might as well. It was the same damn game.
And basically like a spiritual sequel kind of thing.
Yeah, this is where they like tag team shit. I never played Rival Schools. Yeah, because you were telling me about, I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, and I forgot that they did this. Yeah. I had heard of this before, but I am not familiar as much with Project Justice as I was with Rival Schools. Rival Schools, mostly I played a little bit over my buddy's house, but it was mostly just me looking at it in magazines and stuff and thinking like, oh, those are really cool designs.
Yeah, it came out for the Dreamcast this week. Also, that came out this week, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Trial by Fire. This is based off the movie, the Disney movie Atlantis for the Windows. Came out.
That is a real rough cover. Why did they decide to make a 3D model of him?
Wait a minute. Is that what that cover?
That's what it looks like.
The cover I saw, I thought it was a drawing. Maybe it's a different cover.
Maybe it's just because it's so scaled down. I can't really tell. I'm just looking at the one on the wiki page.
Yeah, it is. Oh, maybe the wiki page. Let me see that.
It looks maybe like a mixture of the two, like a drawing over a 3D kind of thing.
And it looks like this game is a first person RPG kind of thing going on here. Where you do puzzles, like a Myst kind of thing.
That seems actually like probably the right way to go with that game.
No, Dan, it needs to be an action game. And you fight, even though I don't think he really fought a lot
Exactly.
in that movie. Yeah. Michael J. Fox talked for the main character, right?
I want to say yes. I want to say that's right. I don't really remember a lot about Atlantis, to be honest with you. I feel like people talk about it like, oh, that's one of the ones that people don't really talk about, but I don't know that I ever really
I never watched
that.
it.
Yeah,
fully.
I don't
like I think I saw bits of it.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm the same way. Was there a cartoon? I want to say if there was, I saw more of that than I
don't remember
did
a cartoon.
The movie itself.
Like if there was a cartoon, I didn't know there was. Mm-hmm. I didn't know they would made a cartoon on this.
I'll watch it on Disney Plus now, Dominic.
Okay. Yeah, it might have been a cartoon that came out there. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I mean, they usually always do.
Mm.
All right, so what else came out this week? We got Cool Borders.
All right.
Came out for the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 version came out, so it was better looking. And let me see, how did people rate it? Cool Borders.
Not as good as SSX. 2. That's what they gave it.
It is. Oh, definitely not. Oh, definitely. Got a 78 out of 100 on Metacritic. So, actually, no. This is aggregate review scores. I don't know what that is. So, it's Cool Borders 2001. So, Metacritic gave it Metacritic gave it a 78 out of 100. All right.
Scored better than PlayStation version, at least.
Yeah, the PlayStation version got like a 56. Yeah, let's say those ugly graphics.
Yeah,
needs to be sharper polygons, smoother. All right, and last. No, I said last. I'm sorry, I got some ones down here. But a big one that came out this week, 20 years ago, Red Faction came out for the PlayStation 2. This game was awesome. My friend got this game, and he got in the summer also because his summer job, and he bought it, and I borrowed it from him. Man, this game, like. You're talking about going, like, I had never experienced, like, a game with the destructibility like this. What was it called? The Geo-Mod engine, they call it. And you could just go through walls. So, like, it'd be like Doom. It's like, oh, man, I'm playing Doom. And, I just go open this door. I said, no, I have to go through the door. I can go through the wall and get to this room. Yep. And you can just dig anywhere. You can just go through walls anywhere. Now, some walls, you'll keep digging, but then it'll get to a point where it stops. Like, you say, okay, there's nothing there. But it was just cool. Like, blast. I can blast a hole in the wall. I can, like everything just breaks. Like, say, I bust a hole. I don't have to go through the door. I just go through the side here. It was just, oh, my God. It was just incredible at the time. I was like, I cannot stop playing this game.
It's crazy to think that they were doing that back then, and we still don't have games that just like regularly do that.
Man, I think it just tells you that shit was expensive. Maybe.
Yeah.
It must just say that this shit was just way too expensive to do. Cause I thought by now I'm thinking like, man, when I heard about 360 coming out and the PlayStation 3, they're like, man, everything's gonna be destructible.
Exactly.
Like Red Faction. Like, we're going to have things just... And then when you heard people say, look, we got destructibility. Like when Call of Duty said you can shoot through walls and stuff like that, I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's going to burst through the fucking buildings.
Exactly.
Nope. You can shoot through walls, but it's not like you can just bust through the wall or something like that. Like shoot a missile launcher and it'll blow the wall up.
Like in Bad Company.
I don't know. And then the next time you really did that was Red Faction Guerrilla and their multiplayer. Oh my, that is still probably... one of the most fun I ever had in multiplayer was Red Faction Guerrilla. I mean, you're talking about a third-person action shooter where everything's destructible.
Yeah.
Like I said, I died with the building falling on top of me because somebody just blew it up and and then it just fell like off the cliff on me. I seen people fall like from bridges and shit like that. And then, man, it was just so much fun playing that. And I regret that I ain't put more time into that game before it just went dead. Like, nobody was playing it no more. It's just like no other game has felt that way. I guess the closest you can say is like Battlefield. That's the closest you can say. And even that, it has destructibility, but not to that extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if game developers just realize not even how expensive it is, but like how much harder it makes game design because you can't control the way a player goes and what direction they want. Cause like you said, I can just shoot down this wall and here I am at the exit instead of following along your entire path, and then people were like, your game's trash, I beat it in 5 seconds. It's like, but you didn't play any of it. Well, I played it the way I wanted to, which was shoot through this wall, and you let me.
Yeah. So I think what the best way to do is to make it mission based, probably. Like you have to accomplish certain objectives, so it won't be just you get to the end of the level,
right? Yeah,
or that nature. And I don't know. I think there's ways around it. I mean, it's just I'm not a game designer, but I'm sure there's ways around it.
Oh yeah, I would love to see more games incorporate destruction on like a very high level, not just like, oh, this falls apart a little bit, but see it be integral in the actual gameplay.
Yeah. All right. So what we got here? We got Commander Keen for the Game Boy Color. Have you ever played this game?
No, I'm familiar with the name just because it's like an early Epic game, but I've never actually gotten familiar with that game. I know they were doing like that phone one, and people were not happy about that because it was on the phones.
I'm trying to see what the rating was. What did you get on? Where's the Wikipedia? Oh, here it is.
We didn't review games back then, Dominic.
It got a 8 out of 10 on Eurogamer. But it got like a 6, like 6s from other places though.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
All right, so what else we got here? We got Resident Evil Gotten for the Game Boy Color. I remember I watched some of this game on YouTube. I was doing that Resident Evil bit of just looking at the old games and even the side games. And this was like a top-down game. Almost reminds me of what Metal Gear looked like back on the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pull it up now.
Yeah, I feel like I played a little bit of this on an emulator or something. It was basically like, here's how we could release this version of Resident Evil on the Game Boy. But also, you played as Barry or something, maybe?
Okay, let me see. Yeah. It said you play as, it has Leon Kennedy in there.
Oh, okay.
And Barry.
Gotcha.
So the plot is it picks a viral outbreak in a luxurious passenger ship. Yeah, this is when you're on the ship. Introduces an underground organization established to put an end to global operations of Umbrella, the company responsible for Raccoon City disaster. Leon S. Kennedy, one of the protagonists of Resident Evil 2, joined the initiative to received orders to investigate the ocean liner Starlight, which is rumored to be carrying a new type of bioorganic weapon. Oh, also you go into first person and like I see right here somebody's buried, and it's like a bar and the little.
Oh, is it like golf where it's like going back and forth and you have to? That's kind of fun. I guess.
So to shoot the zombies, so you can shoot the zombies at the right place. So yeah, it's an interesting way. But it got bad scores. Basically, it got a 5 out of 10 on GameSpot, 4 out of 10 on IGN. GamePro gave it a 2.5 stars. So yeah, it didn't get great scores. But you have to play to know the lore, people.
Of course.
If you don't play this game, you won't know the Resident Evil lore. That's just a joke. All right. Also, World's Scariest Police Chases came out on PlayStation, based on the TV series World's Scariest Police Chases. And I think I heard that the last one, the last mission in this is that you play as the Bronco that OJ was in, and you have to actually escape the cops.
Oh, you don't play as OJ, you play as the Bronco.
Oh, well, you're the car.
That's the way you protect yourself from OJ's litigation.
Yeah, exactly. You're just the Bronco. Yeah, you got to run away from the cop. So actually, I'm thinking in this game, are you the police or are you the criminals?
You gotta be the criminals, right? Like the criminals is more fun.
Exactly. It really is. So yeah, you would think it would be. Let me look it up.
Otherwise, you're just following behind. Like you gotta lead the chase.
Scariest Police Chases, the video game. All right. The Wikipedia ain't helping me because they don't have shit about the game. Let me see this YouTube video here. It's a long play of the game. You're playing as the cops.
Nah, of course you are.
But hold on, let me see. Maybe you play as both. Okay, I think you are because look like you're in a regular police. Yeah, you're in a regular car. Yeah, you play as both the cops and the criminals.
All right, I'll let him have that then.
Now what are they saying you did? I wonder. Are you just robbing a bank, or did it have like, oh no, he murdered that kid, or you didn't pay child support? No, I didn't pay child support. I'm trying to get the car.
They're chasing people for people who didn't pay child support. Then we're in rough shape.
Or you're just a black man, and it's like, hey, pull over. It's like, no.
Too real, Dominic. Too real.
All right. So last and maybe least, I'm not sure. 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker, and I don't think this is like the truck simulator game.
Right.
I think this is actually like an arcade type of game.
Oof.
And let me see. That truck was zooming, so I was like, oh, this ain't. This is definitely not that type of game. Okay, it's arcade. It's almost like Crazy Taxi.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I remember this game. This is like the Crazy Taxi version of, I guess, being a trucker. So
you just get high on your meth, and then you just plow through people.
You just gotta hurry. You gotta tell them to take this fuel tanker somewhere.
This fuel tanker.
You gotta rival too. You gotta hurry up and get there, because if he gets there first and get it, that's it.
Man.
It's crazy. This game, for this time, it looks all right. It looks like Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, it really does. It did very much has that vibe.
Yeah, look at that rival. He is blasting through. And why are there crates on the highway? He is. Y'all busting through cars. And look, if you bust through a car, you'll get. It helps your time.
Oh man, that's not good.
Jesus Christ! It's like, oh no!
Don't encourage that.
Oh, this is good. This is a good game to get now, because this is really how things are now, man. People trying to get gas stations without a gas, man. You gotta hurry up and get there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. All right. So that is it, and I left the damn page. All right, and that is it for the flashback segment. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get into the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. We talked last week about the Call of Duty 80s action pack, and now it's official. It is launched. You got your Rambo, you got your John McClane, but you do, in fact, have Nakatomi Plaza, Dominic. They have added that as a, point of interest to the Warzone map, much like we were talking about, with like a Fortnite where they'll change things around on the map. They have added that, so that's pretty cool, in addition to just having those skins. So I just figured I'd bring that up since we talked a little bit about that and weren't sure what they were going to do with that last week. But yeah, that's official now. That's out. You can, jump into Warzone now and get in there and take that tower over like you're some terrorists from Europe. In some other news, Dominic, we got a new amiibo announced. Now, it's usually not news when we talk about, when a new amiibo is announced. But this one is Skyward Sword related. It is Zelda and I guess whatever those birds are called in that game. But the thing about this is it's $25 if you can find it, because much like a lot of these or any product nowadays, it seems like as soon as the initial allotment of pre-orders is sold out, it seems almost impossible to find some of these things. But what they're doing is they're locking a portion of the fast travel behind the use of this amiibo. You can go into the menu, or rather you can go to the statues that were in the original game of the bird and then fast travel back to Skyloft, which is the main town in Skyward Sword. But you can only do that from the statues. But if you have the amiibo, you can just tap it and it'll return you to Skyloft, and then you tap it again and it returns you right back where you were. So it's really very much, it's very much just like a quality of life feature that would be normal and standard in most remasters, and they're fucking tying it to this amiibo, Dominic.
And then it's going to be one of those things that sell out.
Yep, exactly. And it already has. It's already becoming extremely difficult to find. Now, the one thing I will say about amiibos is, since they're just like that NFC chip in the bottom of the statue, you can basically either get NFC tags that you can program with your phone and make fake amiibos that the Switch will recognize, or buy like a fake tag off of eBay. And I know some people do that. Like they make little cards like, oh, this is equivalent to this amiibo. But it's still really shitty of Nintendo to lock that behind an amiibo figure.
It is.
And it's
like, just do skins, man. At the most, do skins.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. At the very most. I hate how stupid some of that stuff is, but also, like, I don't mind that in Breath of the Wild, it's just like, okay, here's a chest, and you'll get some money in it or something. You get some hearts. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's... I don't know why they would do that. I really hope, they'll come to the realization that that's a stupid idea and will patch that in at some point shortly after that game launches. Because it's real bad. Because even if I was into amiibos, this isn't necessarily one that I'm looking to get anyway. Or rather, if I was into this game, that's not an amiibo I would be looking to get necessarily. Because I'm not into it. Anyway. So yeah, Nintendo being shitty. In some other news, Dominic, we got Grand Theft Auto 5. We now know when that game is going to launch on the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. That's going to be November 11th, 2021, which, if I'm thinking back to when they were talking about how Grand Theft Auto 5 was coming to the PS5, I feel like I thought it would have already been out by now. Like
I thought it would be spring.
Yeah, I thought they were talking like, oh, early next year after launch it'll be out. And
what is that? And it was supposed to be free multiplayer, but isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it was something. Yeah,
that's what it was. Right? It was free Grand Theft Auto Online on PS5. Right?
Yeah, I just don't hear nobody talking about it. I mean, unless it just maybe they just mentioned it came out, but I haven't heard it. I haven't heard like a release. Yeah,
I don't remember it ever releasing if it has. But I feel like we talked about at some point, like they were giving, as like a PlayStation Plus thing one month, they were giving away extra free money for Grand Theft Auto Online because they couldn't do that yet because they hadn't released it yet or something like that. Yeah, but it's so weird to think that this game started as a PS3, Xbox 360 generation game, and here we are 2 generations later, and this game is still, huge. I mean, it is news that this game is re-releasing this year. It's wild.
And how much is it's going to be $60 if you don't have it?
Is it only going to be $60? It scares me.
70? They give you 70?
I wouldn't necessarily be shocked, to be honest with you.
Is this a free upgrade?
I haven't seen word about that, but I want to say I would hope so, but also, like, it's such an old game that I wouldn't necessarily put it past them to just be like, yeah, give us all the money for this game.
Nah, as much money as they make online, they can kiss my ass. I hope I see a Jim Sterling shit on it then. Hope I see a video.
Yeah.
Have you watched Jim Sterling's videos lately?
It's been a couple of weeks since the last one that I watched. But
I haven't watched it in probably a little over 2 months now.
Gotcha.
Since he got the new wig. It ain't because of that. It's just
I see. It's not.
I saw a couple with a new wig.
Yeah,
I seen a couple with a new wig, but I was just joking. But yeah, I haven't seen any recent. Cause I think the ones I looked at the titles is just ones I was really big into.
That's what it's been for me. Is I just haven't seen topics that I'm looking to hear from them about. Follow them on Twitter because they're always posting about the wrestling stuff that they do now too, which is cool.
Yeah, that wrestling stuff is cool. Yeah, it's cool that he's into that. And I seen him have the belt. I guess he won a belt recently.
Yeah, they were Rise champion for I don't know, quite a while, like the entire pandemic time before they were able to
there was no competition. That's why I'm saying it. There was no competition.
I mean, that was part of it. I think they put the belt on them just to be like, here you go, advertise this on Twitter and stuff. You get a huge following, So, yeah, that was cool. So we'll see how that goes. I'll have to look into seeing, what it's going to cost and whatnot as we get closer to that. We also saw some big news about Overwatch 2 this week. There's a new level that they showed off, Monte Carlo, as well as the announcement that with Overwatch 2, Blizzard is going to be moving to a 5v5 setup instead of a 6v6. The idea, as far as like their recommendations go, because obviously you can kind of play whatever characters you want, but that you would have 2 DPS guys, 2 damage dealers, 2 support characters, and then 1 tank, as opposed to having 2 tanks. And those are your big broody guys that have all the hit points, but kind of maybe don't hit as hard. So I don't know how that. I've never been into a game, let alone Overwatch, to understand like the meta in that level. But it seems weird to me that with this stuff being backwards compatible with Overwatch 1, I know there's a lot of concern that Overwatch 1 will then also become 5v5, which I would imagine it would have to be if the games are just the same, basically. And if you created all those maps for 6v6, theoretically, what does changing the gameplay setup to 5v5 due to those established maps? Are you going to have to,
and that's just the base game, right? There's probably going to be a mode where it could be 6v6. That's just like the official mode, or exactly, like the base, as you said. The standard default is 5v5. Yeah, I mean, I would have to say if there's enough of an outcry, I would wonder if they actually just changed it back to 6v6, but if there was, or just make the maps, or make the maps
community. Like the old ones, make that 6v6. Yeah, I could see that. It's weird though that I'm seeing a lot of people who actively play Overwatch still, kind of questioning this decision. And from the outside looking in, it just seems weird to go that route when 6v6 has kind of been established, that your esports league is 6v6. Somebody's getting dropped from those teams. You're losing jobs, Dominic.
Or unless they say, hey, you just have more
backups.
Yeah. More reserves. Yeah.
You're on the bench. Yeah. So we'll see. I didn't see a whole
form another team by all those people that get dropped.
There you go. Now we're talking. They already have like 60 million teams though, Dominic. It went from like 5 to 72 or something like that, it felt like. So we'll see how Overwatch goes. That's obviously not coming out this year. They've already been out there saying that. So as we get closer to next year, we'll see what's going on with that. Speaking of gaming news, Dominic, we're going to have a ton of it the week of June 10th and on from there, because Jeff Keighey just announced that Summer Game Fest is returning. And they're going to have a live stream that's supposed to be like 2+ hours with over 12 world premieres on June 10th. And shortly thereafter is E3. So he's very much eating their lunch right now, Dominic.
Yeah, and because, last year he just kind of went like, have one game they talk about, they go in depth on. Mm-hmm. Then there'll be some weeks they go in depth on another game.
Yeah,
which that was fine, especially during the pandemic time, to spread it out like that too. That was cool, and also to go in more in depth of that game.
Yeah,
he was talking about. Now he's having like a full blown show.
Yeah,
this is
your E3 press conference equivalent, basically.
Yeah, right before E3. So that's interesting.
Yeah, somebody did something to him at E3, Dominic, and he's not happy about it. He's trying to burn them to the ground. It seems like.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. Hey, they all can just eat each other to me, man.
It's so weird for it to be June 10th and then all the actual official E3 stuff starts on June 12th. That's Saturday.
I guess you could just say it's another show, Dan. It's like, This is like the EA Play show before the E3. That's not part of E3, but it's there. It's like something like that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's that. All right, Dominic. And then in some other news, Free Radical Designs is back. The studio founded by people who worked on GoldenEye, 007, and Perfect Dark back when they were working for Rare. They split off, became Free Radical Designs, created Time Splitters, and then kind of disappeared, eventually working for Deep Silver. I think it was Deep Silver that bought them and then closed them. And then there was Dam Buster, which kind of carried some of that legacy. And they're the ones that made Homefront Revolution, which does not really carry that legacy very well. But yeah, they Deep Silver has announced that Free Radical Designs is back, and they are actually, in fact, working on the next Time Splitters game as well. So,
that's great. So yeah. EA didn't have that IP, so was it really under them? That's good.
I don't know if they had it at some point, but I remember, I want to say last year sometime, or maybe in 2019, that Deep Silver did pick up the Time Splitters IP from somebody.
I'm trying to think. Was it Eidos that had it first?
I don't even
Was that
remember.
The first game? Because I know it wasn't. I don't think it was EA for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yep,
Was
Eidos. Eidos Interactive published it from 2000 2002. Then Electronic Arts took over in 2005.
Yeah, so I definitely want to see what they would do with a modern day Time Splitters game. And if they can kind of get some of that vibe back.
Time Splitters, the third one, Time Splitters Future Perfect, that was great to me. Like, I really loved that game. That was fun. It was cool how they did the whole time traveling thing, because sometimes you saw yourself and you was like, oh, you gave yourself this, and then you end up doing it, later on. Mm-hmm. And that was fun. Like, I liked it better than the other two, because the other two, I didn't really have a story.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't have like a story, but in this, you had like a character that your character talked and everything. So it's like, okay, I understand what's going on, and it's fun as hell to play. I think I played it on the Xbox. I think I played it on Xbox. Mm-hmm. I kind of want, I think I want to pick this game up again, like on the PC. Maybe it's a PC somewhere.
There's got to be.
Splitters.
I'd imagine. Yeah. So.
It never came out on PC.
Really?
That's right. I think we talked. I think I said I want to play it.
Oh man,
it has GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox.
You got to get the home front, and then you gotta which I think that was just Time Splitters 1, wasn't it? Or Time Splitters 2. That the home front had a remake version of Deep in the Code or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got. But that's for Time Splitters what?
I think it was 2. Yeah, not 3. Yeah, that's it. That's incredible. They need to definitely, in the lead up to the next Time Splitters, they should just release those games on the PC. That would be seemingly relatively easy money.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted because this damn bird trying to get it, because that little roof over my kitchen, that did come out to block it so the bird won't get in, but I think it might. I don't know if it's found a way in or not, or it's still trying to get in. Maybe it's trying to get in. It's probably the eggs
my
in there.
babies are in there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I was hoping they had animal control people come in and maybe do something, but they just had the maintenance guy.
Just had the maintenance guy. Yeah, he was just like, I'm gonna put some chicken wire here. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm checking because that bird, it just left. I don't know if it got in or not. I'll have to probably call him out here again. Shit.
All right, Dominic, in some other news, we got some weird shakeup at Warner Brothers. I guess AT&T, who technically owns Warner Media, is doing some deal with Discovery now. But in that, it sounds like there are rumors that they're going to be selling off the games division. I think we had previously talked about the potential for them to sell off the game division sometime last year when they were kind of teasing that out a little bit, but that includes studios like Rocksteady and NetherRealm Studios, maker of Mortal Kombat. So there's a lot of talent there. Is there somebody in particular you would like to see pick them up if that were the case?
But before I get to that, why does a game studio, why can't I just be acquired?
I feel like a lot of companies, especially like traditional media companies, like to get rid of the game studios because they aren't necessarily like money makers, even though we see studios and games sell a lot nowadays, and you always hear the metric of like, oh, you know, video games sell more than movies or whatever. But I think there's like a level of investment that you have to put into video games that a lot of these companies who aren't as familiar with them aren't really willing to do, maybe. That always feels like that's kind of what that is. Because like with Disney, right? Like they had a relatively successful company with LucasArts, and then they just kind of stopped with all that, right?
I would rather there be a third party company for the games to still come everywhere, you know.
So not Microsoft, not Sony, not Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo.
Not the Nintendo. Yeah, whatever. So
that hot Mortal Kombat exclusive Nintendo.
Yeah, I just don't want to be exclusive like they make exclusive to one platform. But I'm trying to think of what big third party company. Probably not a big one.
Yeah,
it was some way that like THQ or what's another one that's not too big?
What's the indie one that does the E3 press conferences every year? Yeah, I'm trying to look it up now because for whatever reason my mind is just blanking. Devolver Digital. Yeah, could we get them to pick that up somehow?
Yeah, I mean I don't know if they'll have the money for it, or I mean I don't know what these companies have the money for. I mean THQ seemed like they got some help because they picked some things up, but they actually picked things up when they were kind of down, and then helped bring up maybe you know I don't even do who's Gearbox? Is Gearbox the publisher, or
I think
are they under something else?
Gearbox is owned by 2K.
2K, that's right, 2K. Yeah.
Which I believe was one of the rumored companies that was or Take-Two. I think Take-Two owns 2K.
Yeah.
You know, some weird thing like that. But I think that was one of the ones that was rumored last year, as well as like EA
Take-Two is one of those
Activision.
Ones. Yeah, because Take-Two is one of those ones where, because they own that, they own plus like the Grand Theft Auto, and it's so huge. So maybe, Activision or Electronic Arts.
Those would scare me a little bit.
Yeah, they would. Especially Activision, being is that they seem like they try to consolidate.
Yeah,
they're not trying to even get more games.
Exactly.
Like spread them out. They're trying to consolidate. They're trying to consolidate their studios. So I definitely don't want them. EA, it's iffy. But then again, I think what WB's games was, they were kind of similar to me in 2K and EA, as in with microtransactions and stuff like that. Yeah. But not with all their games though. But the ones I can think of right now, they are. They were.
Absolutely.
I mean, Mortal Kombat. I mean, except for Batman. Was it? And
but
I don't
also
know.
Just feels like Batman's been gone for so long that they kind of missed that time when Warner Brothers kind of started pumping that stuff in real heavy.
They could have did, because Batman could be similar to what Assassin's Creed is with how they do it. How they do, like, you buy stuff. They could have made it like, oh, if you want a little easier, you can pay this little money and we could have made XP doubler or something like that.
So you mentioned Assassin's Creed. What about Ubisoft? Do you think they would be interested, or could, or would that be a thing that you would be okay with?
I want to be okay with. I don't know. I just feel like they have enough games on their plate. Like,
they really.
I just want to bring somebody else up. I just want one of those smaller studios, those smaller big AAA studios to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent there. The interesting thing for me is what happens to all those licensed games, because we're also talking what, Traveler's Tale, the guys that make Lego. I mean, I'm sure those were already licensed deals before Warner Brothers, was involved, but we're talking about studios that handle a lot of Warner Brothers properties. Is that just now a licensing deal that Warner Brothers is going to do with whoever picks up these studios, or
and
are we going to see fewer
that's
of
what
those
I'm saying.
games?
It's going to be individual. Is it like it has to be a group? It has to be all WB games, or can it be somebody just pick up
one studio or two studio? Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I'm sure AT&T would have some control over how that works out, but it sounds like they're trying to get rid of the Warner Brothers Games group as a whole, and I don't know that a company like AT&T would necessarily want to do the work of like, oh, well, we'll give you this piece, and no, you're not interested in that piece. It's more like, here's the whole thing. I just want to get rid of them, right? Like, give me the highest price you're willing to give me.
Yeah, this is big, because I'm like, man, I know a lot of people talk about, Microsoft could pick them up. Now, if I'm talking about between the consoles, who would I rather have? I would rather have Microsoft pick it up, because
Warner
I
Brothers
want
games on
Game Pass.
Exactly.
Because of Game Pass. That's the only reason, because it's free. Now, if there was no Game Pass for Microsoft, then I wouldn't care which one got it. I would want none of them to get it, but I wouldn't. If somebody had to get it, I wouldn't care who to choose. Probably not. I probably actually would choose not Nintendo. Even Nintendo could get it, like they were willing to do it. I probably choose them because I'm like, oh man, those games never gonna go down in price.
Yeah, never gonna go down in price. They're never gonna look technically as great as they could be on whatever the current new gen console is or PC. Yeah.
Or I probably would say Microsoft. Either way, because there's still a chance it could come on PC.
Right. Yeah. And Sony's doing that stuff a little bit more, but yeah, definitely not.
They started it, but I'm waiting until it's normalized. Until I just see it all the time. So, but yeah. So yeah, if I was going to be one of the three big companies, I would rather it be Microsoft. Because then I can just have Game Pass and play those games, and I don't have to pay $70, which we want to play for games now, or for the Sony platform.
Yeah, exactly. That's it for the news that I saw.
All right.
Some new releases, Dominic. We got Days Gone, the newest of releases here, coming out on the PC finally. So if you want to check that out, didn't get a chance to play it on the PlayStation or get it as part of PlayStation Plus recently, you can get that on the PC. So check that out. It's so
great to play with trainers. With trainers on,
I mean, that's probably a pretty good way to play it. We also got Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Dry Twice for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Dear Lord. That's a hell of a title right there.
I mean, the last one was Wet Dreams Never Dry, so it's,
Oh, man.
Now they dry twice. They dried twice as fast. I don't know. The design and the style of these new games, these last two, looks pretty cool to me. I think and the reviews seem pretty positive. Like, I wouldn't mind getting into one of those. I think you would probably be, into it with the point and click stuff.
Yeah.
So. And Leisure Suit Larry.
And the horniness.
I really just wonder how those hold up. Like, have they made Leisure Suit Larry a little more woke, or is he still very rapey? That's what I would be interested to see.
Those girls seem to enjoy it, Daniel.
I mean, I always feel like it was never like that. Granted, I never played like the 80s ones or whatever, but I always felt like, especially the ones for our generation, like the Xbox one and Cum Laude and stuff, like Leisure Suit Larry was always kind of the joke, right? Like, he was the joke. It wasn't the women. It wasn't like him trying to roofie them or anything like that. It was always like, oh, he mistakenly gets roofied or something like that. The game looks kind of fun.
It's Trump-esque that. It's Trump-esque. He grabbed him by the, what.
No.
Did he? Grabbing him. Ugh. It's like, at least I didn't play the early ones. These are, so I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. After that, we got Snow Runner. That's kind of like that Mud Runner game, but with snow, obviously. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch this week. We also have Layers of Fear 2
and that's on Game Pass.
Switch. Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those games, like, if I made more time, I would like to check that out and see, like, just how silly that kind of stuff is.
It ain't silly. I think it's really realistic.
Is it? Is it one of those?
Yeah, it's it's almost.
Okay. Because I feel like I remember the Mud Runner one being like, yeah, I'm stuck in this bog and I have to like learn the fucking design mechanics of a truck to figure out how to get it unstuck.
It's almost like it reminds me of the almost similar to the truck simulator type of stuff, but but it's a little
then maybe not so
better
much.
than that.
Give me Ice Road Truckers, the video game, which is probably like that crazy, like the 18-wheeler game we were talking about, but driving over ice.
I wanted more arcadey. I wanted like that. Yeah, you burst through and you're going through. You run over polar bears to get to your stop and stuff like that.
All right, we also got Manifold Garden. That is the one. Did that come out as a PlayStation Plus game? I don't know. It has a very cool visual design. Like, it's very simplistic, but the imagery is complex in a way, and I believe it's like a physicsy puzzle game kind of thing, like almost
okay.
What's that MC Escher style PSP puzzle game that was like all about perspective and stuff? I feel like it's something like that. Echo Chrome.
Damn. Echo, yeah.
Yeah, like that. All right, we also have Just Die Already, which I don't think I was familiar with, but apparently it is an old people mayhem sandbox game created by the designer of Goat Simulator. You are an old retired person in the near future where people aren't having any children. And this seems crazy.
What's it called again?
Just Die Already.
Oh, damn.
And this screenshot is of an old man flipping off another old man. So, I mean, if you're familiar with Goat Simulator, that game is crazy in ways that you wouldn't expect, even for a game where you play as a goat licking things and moving them with your tongue.
But Just Die Already, it came out last year.
Did it?
On the PS4.
Oh, okay. Maybe we missed that talking about new releases, or I just skipped over it because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Looks like IGN gives it a 5 for consistently janky controls. Now,
yeah, I wonder why did it come? It came on the PS4 first, and then it came on PC and everything else.
Yeah, get that exclusivity down.
I feel like it should have came on PC also.
Yeah. So that's
wow. I'm looking at this man. Old man has like a lightsaber, but it's like a flimsy lightsaber.
Of course,
I guess he didn't take his Vicodin.
No,
but not I said Vicodin. I said
he didn't take his blue chews, Dominic. His blue chews.
He didn't take his Cialis.
All right, we also got Miitopia. That's out now on the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to spend some time with your Miis, you can check that out. And we got Knockout City, Dominic. That's now out on PC, Nintendo Switch.
Miitopia, that's a big game, Daniel. We should talk about that.
What do you got to say about it?
I think it's better than Animal Crossing. I'm going to say it.
Oh, shit.
I just want to know, what is, like...
What does it do that Animal Crossing doesn't?
Like, what does this game have that... If I would have Animal Crossing, why should I get Miitopia?
If you already have Animal Crossing, you should not get Miitopia.
Okay. Because they're both Nintendo also.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a demo available, Dominic, so might have to download that.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it.
It seems like maybe there's more like actual single player content to it, like as far as directed content, if you know what I mean. Like there's a story to it. So it's like the Dragon Quest builders to Minecraft, basically, I guess.
I don't know, Daniel. I think I might hear I heard something outside.
It's raccoons getting inside now, Dominic. Bird showed him how.
No, I don't think it's raccoon. It sounds like cicadas. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Now you got cicadas in your walls. Oh,
but gosh. It sounds like from a distance.
Okay. They're coming. There's just going to be... There's just going to be a fucking sheet of them coming. Oh, God. All right. Knockout City, Dominic. That's out on mostly everything this week. And I think is part of EA... whatever thing. It's also part of Game Pass.
Play is just making it free. Then they're not. Yeah, that is.
I think
like,
it's
we're not
time
free,
limited
with the service.
Yeah, but I think it's I think it's time limited. I think that's what I saw.
It's time limited. Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it got a pretty positive score on Game Informer. Would it get like an 8.5
I want to know
or something like that?
Rocket City. Okay, so what Rocket City get for Game Informer, and why is this better?
Especially because from what I saw in Game Informer, it was like, it's solid, but there's not a lot of content here. And it's like, well, why does it deserve an 8 then? But yeah, it's...
Polygon says, Knockout City review, the future of dodgeball is fast upon us.
Yes, because it's already out, so it's here. The future is here.
Give scores, so let me read the past paragraph. It speaks to the slow fun burn that Knockout City has been for me since Velen and EA started showing it off in February. There's a strange new sport out there whose fundamentals and tactics are largely unknown. If I can discover them faster than the other guy, I'll have a competitive advantage, right?
Right.
All right. I think they might like it a little bit.
Seems relatively positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like it's doing all right. Hopefully they support this a lot better than they did Rocket Arena. I think Rocket Arena, even more so than this game, had a lot of people not really talking about it. So, or talking bad about it before launch is what I meant to say. So seems like there's more positivity surrounding this one. So that's good.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. Give Knockout City a chance, Dominic.
I mean,
I already did.
I'll play it if it's free, you know? Yeah. I mean, but it says to everyone it's part of EA Play's library at launch. And therefore free for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Beautiful. Yeah, it says free. It doesn't say time.
Beautiful. That's what I like to hear, Dominic, especially for a game like this that it really seems like it's one of those games that just needs an opportunity. Like, this could be the next Rocket League if you just put it in the hands of people.
Some get on the ground floor. Yep, I'm going to play some.
Yeah.
Maybe this weekend or this week.
Yeah. So check that out. Those are our new releases, Dominic. You got anything else this week?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can find all the podcasts there, as well as links to places you can find it outside of that website, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast. Like and subscribe there if you enjoy the content, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And until next week, guys. See you later.
All right, see you.